Well, this is take two, but I think I'm just going to revamp it and just really lay down the line for a lot of people. There's predictions and wishful thinking for tomorrow selections. And I love barking dogs, as you can tell. I love distractions. Shut up, Miss Carla. If I have to tell you again, you're going to spank me. Oh, never mind. Miss Carla, get over here now. No. I think things quieted down, but I'm going to keep this quick. Less than 5 minutes, of course. There's not a lot needs to be said. Polls are heavily favoring Harris, even though the mainstream media says it's like too close to call. The polls are saying +2, +4, and they might just end up getting Nevada and Arizona just like that, a big swoop out west, including the Midwest, which is going to be +2, +3 for the state of Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. Do I see North Carolina winning? I don't really think so. It's a heavily red area, even though it's got a Democratic governor whose election is coming up. And boy, oh boy, that governor, I didn't really pay attention to this, that election for North Carolina, but I'm starting to see that most of the heavily dense red places are starting to become like deeper purple. And when you see something like that, that tells you that there's one thing that's a common denominator, that the old system is not working for them. And many of the older congressmen and senators are not doing the job that the voters wanted them to do. And that's sort of like a slap in the face to the Republican Party. But when you upset a 50% group of voters, talking about female voters, about reproductive rights, contraception, and abortion, the Republicans took a huge piss on that third rail and angered a lot of voters, and a lot of memorandums in a lot of states will vote to what's the word? Quantify. Oh, there's a special word for it. Indemnify. I don't think I'll use that word until somebody corrects me. Will make Roe v. Wade the standard to their states. Since the Republican Party, the Supreme Court has decided to revamp Roe v. Wade with the Dobbs Act, which kind of made states responsible at the federal level, cannot supersede states' rights when it comes to abortion and women's rights, which I think is a bunch of malarkey, and pretty much a lot of people in America, both Republicans and Democrats, are sorely against banning abortion. And this is what's going to cost the Republicans. Miss Carla, get over here now. Miss Carla. Miss Carla. Miss Carla. If I have to say this again, get up there now. Stop it. Come here. Come here. Come here. You're not in trouble. Okay. Good girl. That's one good way to shove a woman. Oh, no. I didn't say that too well, did I? But I do see a problem with the electoral system, the way it's set up. And truth is, Trump could win the election through a thing called a red mirage. And what a red mirage is basically all the votes that are counted tomorrow, the first votes to come in. And you may have like 219. And Kamala will have 219. But and he might decide to declare himself winner at 219. Since there's like 538 electoral votes, I was watching Kyle Kalinski's show. This might be just be an easy blowout and get both might include both Virginia and Florida, because they're really tired of the Republican Party down in Florida. Rick Scott is up for a re-election down there, and I can see him just winning easily because it's just the fact that he's a Republican. Whoop-de-doo. And he's kind of a douchebag, to say the least. But if Trump does lose tomorrow, and that's a big if, it won't be when, and I just hopefully I'm wrong, that Trump wins. Then all the cases against him in the court of law will be dismissed. But tomorrow, after like 9-10 o'clock, and if Harris does win, what Trump's going to try to do is try to drag this out. And I'm starting to think that this might just be a blowout. A lot of people are predicting this is going to happen for Harris. If Harris does win, and it's by a big showing, A lot of district attorneys around the United States are going to take up the knives and handle Trump's ass for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And he's going to try everything in his power to stave this off. But the only way he can pull off what he did back in 2020 is if everything is within the margins. And unfortunately, a lot of these polls are saying, no, we're going for Harris. We're not going to go for you. But the polls are just a sample size. That's it. But if you keep on oversampling the Republican base, you can actually say that Trump is going to win. But if you include inside that little poll a few hundred undecided independent voters out there, chances are they're not going to like Trump at all. So I do believe Trump is going to do everything in his power to try to stave off the election results. Delay as much as he possibly can up till, I believe, by the end of November, early December, before January 6th. The Senate and congressional districts are going to be swinging so far to the left that on January 2nd, once they get sworn in, and they have the speaker, I think it's going to be Hakeem Jeffries as a majority speaker. What will happen is they're going to certify his elections and put a rubber stamp on it. Because what the shenanigans that the MAGA party has done, the Freedom Caucus, or whatever they want to call them, they're just so out there. And it's just pretty much, I believe Lorraine Bobbitt and Marjorie Taylor Greene are going to win their districts. For one simple fact, they got name recognition. I haven't seen anything. You can be the worst possible candidate out there, but if you don't have anything out there that says bad news is good news for these people, and they just devour this on a daily basis. The press love Lorraine Bobbitt. We love Marjorie Taylor Greene. They love Matt Gaetz. And guess what? More of their names are out in the public media, especially in the districts. More chances that they're going to win their districts just because of how sheer their name recognition is, even though it might be in a negative light. And Trump is right. When he said something back in 2016, he says, I can just shoot anybody on Fifth Avenue, run for the presidency, win the election, and not be indicted. You know what? He is right. And that should come to as a pause. Do I think Trump can win? Yes, I believe so. Even though, contrary to what the polls say, Trump might pull a rabbit out of his hat tomorrow and win this. And then, guess what? He's going to get pardoned. Project 2025 will happen once he's sworn in, January 20th of 2025. And a lot of things are going to happen on day one that's going to alter the face of American politics. Stay tuned tomorrow. I'll be on here around 10, 11 o'clock tomorrow night to discuss what's really happening. And guess what? Might be 2000 3.0. And I don't think the Supreme Court is going to have a hand in helping Donald Trump win this election. Because right now, I think the Democratic Party has done their homework of getting good lawyers in the swing states to monitor what's going on with the Trump campaign and is willing to go to the federal district's courts with evidence in hand, strong evidence, to help defer many of Trump's accusations. So I don't think many of his lawyers, because there's already one lawyer that's already been disbarred already for the state of New York. And if you were a lawyer for Trump, Cam, I have to ask you this question. If you're Trump's lawyer, are you willing to sacrifice your license, your livelihood for that man after November 5th? If you are a lawyer for the Trump camp, well, like I said, I'm not going to say how many points. I was willing to call it tonight. And if I'm wrong, I'll tell you tomorrow night. Trump will win this election, regardless of all those hurdles. And I'm saying democracies will be at stake. That's all.